Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
Cloudy today, windy, cold, periods of rain. Sounds great. 45 the high. It's 34 downtown. We have a story we're going to get to in a moment. Joe, I understand you have a question.
Yeah, but I guess I kind of just answered it by reading as well. I mean, so so Western Michigan is doing really well.
Yes.
The football program, obviously.
That is, yeah.
So they want to keep him around. They'll end up paying him more money.
PJ Fleck.
Yeah, PJ Fleck.
Yep.
Coach.
What good is it doing for the school, though? It brings in more money, no doubt, from people buying jerseys, right?
It can be, I think I was reading that there was an article that I just saw the headline to that said Western Michigan's football success translates to wins for everyone. And a lot of times, like for example, I know Alabama, just because I've been there so many times in the last couple of years. Now, what they're doing, it's a different scale than what's happening at Western.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it gets people that are alumni and other donors excited for the school, even though in reality, if you believe in your school, you should be donating anyway, and if you don't, you shouldn't. They have so much new building going on. And yes, a lot of it was the athletic department. They get lots of gifts.
Yeah.
But when you go across Alabama's campus now as opposed to 5 years ago, there are all of these new academic buildings and student welfare, everything going up everywhere. And they attribute it to the success of football, which is why they're willing to invest so heavily. And a lot of times schools like that, it'll help with enrollment and applications and everything else.
Yeah,
That's
people
what
want to be
mentioned.
associated with a winner.
Yeah.
That's why initially I wanted to go to Michigan, was because I grew up watching Michigan football.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, once I got to the age where I had to decide on a college, I went, well, that's not a good place for me to go. One, I probably won't get in. And two, they don't have what I want. So that would be dumb. But a lot of people, especially if you're going into business or something that's more of an applicable degree to, whatever college you want to go to. Yeah, of course people go there. So
It's pretty wild.
People like to be around a winner.
I don't know if you can, connect the dots dollar for dollar. Well, I guess if you eventually win, and if they are able to sustain this, and they are, they keep PJ Fleck and they keep doing it, it will definitely pay off. But like those stories about Eastern, where they had to eliminate other programs, and the students are paying for a football program that until this year has been mostly bad for a long, long time. I don't know if they win 9 games this year, or 8 games, and go to a bowl game. Is that enough? Probably not.
Not at all.
This has sort of been building for Western, where they were better with Fleck, and then they were even better, and then this year it's been exciting.
They are not going to keep him long term. I mean, unless he just absolutely flat out loves Kalamazoo so much that he's willing to give up double what he's making now, triple, quadruple.
Yeah, if
come on. It's just like when, we saw the guy, Butch Jones and Brian Kelly when they went from Grand Valley and then they go, they're up at CMU. They had great programs at CMU too. And of course, but when Cincinnati comes calling or somebody else and they go, hey, you're making $300,000 now, we're going to give you $900,000. Oh, come on, man. I mean, you can't blame a guy for that. Unless
larger stage.
Yeah, unless it's like your alma mater or you just really love it there and you go, you know what, it's not about the money for me. I just love being here and I already make good money, so who cares?
Right. Like the coach CMU has now, probably not going anywhere. He has said this is his dream job for his long time. His age, he's doing a great job. Everybody loves him on campus. But
he played
Flex,
there too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Flex
he's
making
a long time
$800 a year, whereas I think when Brian Kelly went to CMU, I think he was making like $290. That's how much the money has jumped.
Wow,
already.
But now you got those major programs like a Michigan and stuff where they're making $6-7 million a year.
Right, sure.
But if Fleck gets an offer from, like last year, he was supposedly offered Illinois and Syracuse. Purdue's going to have a job opening this year. You're probably getting $2 million. Now that is double, but
it's a lot of money.
You may very well go to Purdue and never be heard from again until your name's in the news because you got fired.
It's possible. I mean, there's no doubt. You got to be a little choosy, but he might be able to get a better program than that.
Because he's
something
done so
a little bit more up and coming.
He's been such a big deal as far as like getting attention from ESPN and everything. I don't think it's impossible that he's a surprise candidate over some other bigger names, at one of the really big jobs that's open.
It's possible.
Or one of the good jobs that comes open because somebody leaves to go to LSU or Texas or likely USC.
Yeah, I think that's completely plausible.
Yep.
He might stick it out for another term. But
what if they find a way to get him to, he already makes way more than the second highest paid coach in the MAC. Second highest is Frank Solich, who I think is $450,000. What if they find a way to get him to $1 million, and all of a sudden Western rolls off 3 or 4 conference titles in a row?
Yeah,
it might be. I mean, would it be worth it to the school to come up with an extra $200,000 a year to have that continuity? Probably.
But if he can
spend more than that on advertising,
but if he maintains that for 3 more years, where they're dominant every year and not losing any games or 1 game every year, then he's still going to go at some point. He's not going to be a lifer there.
No. Coaches aren't lifers anymore.
No, not unless he just all of a in the next year just becomes sort of normal. Average.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, you've had the best recruiting classes the conference has ever seen. You may, by all likelihood, you would continue this success. But if they go 12-0 this year, win the conference title, now they're 13-0, and then go win a bowl game, probably a New Year's Day bowl game. So let's say they beat Louisville, who would be a conference runner-up, and that's who they play, and they beat them. They beat the Heisman winner by then, Lamar Jackson, maybe. And so you're 14-0, and you win. And you're never going to get better job offers than at that moment.
No,
because if the next year you only win 8 games, you still had a pretty good year. Maybe you lost on the road to some really good power schools, and they had a conference game go against you. Now you're just a guy again.
Dude, it's sports, man. It's the same as the entertainment industry. Take what you can and as much of it in as short amount of time as you can.
Yeah,
as soon as you can,
because it could go away at any point.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's a big election going on right now.
What?
This is an important election, maybe the most important of our lifetime.
2016, and while there's been no name calling, no explosive videos or emails, there is one battle going on in Kent County for an often overlooked position.
24 News 8's Barton Dieters is here to tell us about the race for
That's right. You wouldn't believe what's going on there.
It's about time we got the Dietz from Dieters.
You got Rainn Wilson as the anchor here?
Can't believe you idiots even have to ask me about this. This is very important news. You should know about this.
I look weirdly like a young Ben Stein.
Commissioner, and how it may be the most important race you've never heard of. Barton?
Well, right, guys, it's the race at the bottom of the ballot and perhaps the least understood elected post. But in an election that has been soaked with drama, even the Drain Commission race
his
is
hands are tiny. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah. No, I don't. I can't wait till he raises them into frame.
Do you think they are right now, or did I just see wrong?
Doll hands.
Up in the waning days before November 8th. Drain Commissioner is
don't pause it. Just
the title that goes back to the earliest days of Michigan's statehood. Michigan could not have become the industrial state it became without drains.
It's not just about managing water, but there's an environmental component to this job that is very rarely understood.
While the yard signs might be overlooked in the clutter popping
What's
up
his
on
name?
lawns.
William Bill? Do you think that's how it's pronounced?
I don't know if it's Bill or Bile.
I hope it's Bill. Bill.
I've seen him. He's run before. I don't know.
Or Willie Bill.
But I've never met him, so I'm not sure how to say his name.
What if his name is pronounced Wild Bile?
They'll probably say.
It was hard to ignore the 15 billboards that were unveiled last week touting Ken Yonker for Drain Commission.
His name is definitely not William Bill.
Damn you, Yonker!
No, the current Drain Commissioner, damn it.
Race, we have 2 candidates who see the job starkly different. A difference that extends even to what the job should be called.
To adapt from a drain commission office to a water resource commission
kingship.
Oh, is that your big thing that you want to change the
so
name?
You want it to be a water resource commission.
Okay, great.
That's what I need. The vice president of semantics.
That's a change opposed by her opponent, saying
it would be a better title, though.
Yes,
of
course it would.
Because Drain Commissioner is a relatively important job, but it sounds so lame.
It sounds like Hot Wings has bought into the propaganda from Big Drain.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You're left wing.
Well, you know what? Billboards speak to me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm easily influenced by fancy, very flashy billboards like that one.
Wait,
and so I believe Water Commission.
Wait till we hear from Yonker before you make up your mind.
Okay.
Is an expansion of the job beyond what it should be. A drain commissioner has a major say in the speed and location of development. The job pays $93,000 and oversees more than 500 miles of drains, as well as detention and how the water that runs off everything from farms to lawns to mall parking lots is managed. Yonker is a Caledonia resident and former GOP representative. He believes the job and its power to assess taxes without oversight should be controlled and curtailed and should not drift into the...
Wait, he wants to assess taxes without oversight?
He's going to move water around?
Yeah. Okay, so...
With no oversight?
Yeah, he wants...
God.
Okay, he wants to get the job and destroy it.
This is... I don't know, man. This seems like too important of a thing for people to be doing in back rooms and beneath shadows.
It seems like too important of a thing to let idiots vote on it.
Under the veil. Yeah, it really
kind of does,
right?
yeah, really.
Areas overseen by the DEQ.
The main focus of the Drain Commissioner is to make sure that water is moving. We don't need the Drain Commission to become another DEQ. Our DEQ does a good job.
Well, not really for Flint.
Not so much.
Yeah,
Probably
I would
not for
say
here
on
either.
a state level, not as good.
Yeah.
We're like right on the cusp of some lead poisoning scandal.
Yeah.
According to people.
I don't know if I'd throw myself in with the DEQ after the year they've had.
Yeah. I mean, unless your town is only 10 years old, chances are there are lead service lines all over the place. It's just hopefully they are putting the right chemical in there.
You guys said something. You said, this seems too important for idiots to vote on. That is true. Should we care what their political leanings are? Shouldn't this be something that they just hire a really smart person to do?
In theory, yeah.
Does he have any experience?
Kind of.
Does she have any experience?
Right, because looking at this, it's what am I really going to know about their experience?
I don't know a thing about either of them except that Yonker doesn't want the drain commissioner title to go away.
Yeah, I don't understand that. There's a lot of things that people vote for that I don't understand. It's kind of like voting for sheriff. I don't think you technically have to be a police officer to run for sheriff.
No, you
don't think so.
Which is weird to me. Like I would, if I'm a police officer, I would want my my superior to be somebody who understands law enforcement.
So true, man.
Now that doesn't mean that they don't necessarily. I mean, however,
they might not.
But they might not. And when you get people like just an average citizen going to the polls and it says, "Oh, I'm running for sheriff," you go. I mean, it's kind of your assumption that all these people would be qualified in some manner, and so you go, well. That's the last sign I saw, so I guess I'll vote for this person. And I mean, it would be kind of the same with drain commissioner. You go, well, all right. I don't know who either of these people are. This guy's the incumbent, and as far as I know, my house hasn't had any water in it, so I guess he's doing a good job.
He's not the incumbent. Neither of them are the incumbent.
Oh, they're okay. They're both fresh.
Will Bill is the guy. He's in charge right now.
Oh,
and
I thought he was running again. Okay.
No, Wild Bile, sorry.
Okay.
Wood lives near Riverside Park in Grand Rapids and spent a decade with West Michigan Environmental Action Council. She advocates for evolving and expanding the position to maintain water quality and address the challenges presented by climate change.
We have more intense and more frequent storms, and we have to deal with that, or we're going to be dealing with the consequences of it. The consequences of it are far more expensive than dealing with it proactively on the front end.
Do we have more and more intense storms? Seems like the same number of storms that we always get.
I think we got more rain this year than any other year, but that's about it. Didn't we? Wasn't it the?
I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Maybe it was just the hottest summer ever. I don't know.
Usually, this is a race that in a traditionally Republican-leaning Kent County is decided in the primary, not the general election. But it seems this year is no usual year, and the fact that the candidates are both spending more than $40,000 on this race means there's a feeling this race could be more of a contest than its bottom-of-the-ballot status would infer. Current Drain Commissioner Bill Bile says they both are solid candidate, but says the best choice would be a combination of both their points of view. There's a lot more on this race.
So, in my estimation, what these two should do is copulate. And
then their baby would be
then their baby, and then it would be drain baby.
Thanks, drain baby. Finally, the right usage. Doesn't it make you a little curious? Like, I know they said the job pays $93,000, but if you had a 50-50 chance of getting a job that paid you $93,000, would you bet $40,000 on it? Because that's kind of what they're doing.
Only if I really thought I was going to win.
Well, they must both think so. And they're probably, it's not like they're spending their own money in most cases. That's
yeah, they might have. Yeah,
there must be something else going on here. I mean, seriously, why throw that money out on a 50? Would you bet that 40 grand? That is so much cash.
I wouldn't, but
I mean, of course, they're not paying for it. They're the parties
probably
are.
not. I'm sure it's the party, but
yeah. So
but I'm not positive. Yeah, I mean, if I'm spending party money, then
I'll spend any amount I can.
I suppose,
why is that a party thing? Why? What is? I don't understand this.
No,
this is
really
so dumb.
Well, because one side wants to expand the power. You heard we're having mega storms now, and the other side wants to make it so that they don't have any control. Because we can't have it anywhere in the middle. Got to be one extreme or the other. You can either dump all of your garbage into the river, or
I'd like that. There's some good garbage races on that river, especially when they get the rapids back in there.
It would be pretty exciting.
That's like your dream.
Yeah, I could throw
when
it
you
in
were a kid.
and then drive downstream and see which gets there first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come visit. Can of lead paint or the box of puppies.
Come visit our extraordinarily beautiful fecal reefs.
What was that chick's name?
What was that chick's name?
Rachel Hood.
Rachel Wood.
Rachel Hood.
Rachel Hood, drain commissioner. I'm looking into this for myself.
Okay.
I better see some experience.
Well, she lived by a park.
Yeah.
That's unfair.
Yeah.
She had more than that.
She lived in the park.
Ken Yonker, Rachel Hood. Why Rachel Hood? For Kent County Drain Commissioner.
That's what we're asking.
I'm only interested in Dieter's details, not anything you say, Joe. Get some alliteration and I'll listen to you.
Learn on your own time.
That's what I'm doing.
The Chili Peppers, Soul to Squeeze. Joe, you have 35 seconds left in the intro to educate the populace. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll start with Rachel. Rachel is talented and driven. She has 15 years of experience developing and implementing a variety of innovative water protection, blah, blah, blah. Ken Yonker probably has some good points, too.
Wow.
Let's see.
20.
District.
Strong.
He was first elected to the Michigan House. He has no water experience.
Oh, my gosh.
And that's... Oh, wait, no. He owns Yonkers Landscaping.
Okay.
Free plug.
Free water.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Yeah, he owns a Culligan
Figure it out on your own.